If you are planning to apply for Australia PR in 2026, then this fresh update is something you cannot afford to ignore, because Australia has started revealing new requirements and stricter expectations for skilled migrants, international students, and PR applicants. And many people are still applying with old information, without realizing that the immigration system is becoming more competitive and more selective than before. If you continue following outdated strategies, there is a high chance you could waste time, money, and effort on the wrong pathway. So watch this carefully, because today we are going to break down the latest Australia PR update in a very simple and beginner-friendly way. Welcome to Australia PR Insider, your trusted source for real, updated, and practical Australia immigration guidance. In today's video, we are going to discuss the fresh Australia PR update for 2026, the new requirements that are now becoming important for applicants, and what you should do right now if you want to improve your chances of getting permanent residency successfully. First of all, let's understand one thing clearly. Australia is still welcoming skilled migrants because the country needs workers in many important industries. However, the government is no longer focusing on just increasing migration numbers. Instead, Australia now wants migrants who have stronger profiles, better English skills, genuine qualifications, relevant experience, and occupations that match the country's workforce shortages. This means the PR system in 2026 is becoming more competitive and more strategic. In previous years, many applicants with average points could still receive invitations in some occupations. But now, because global migration demand has increased, invitations are going mostly to stronger and better prepared candidates. One of the biggest fresh updates is the increased focus on occupation demand. Australia is prioritizing sectors where worker shortages are serious. Healthcare remains one of the strongest sectors, especially nursing, aged care, disability support, and allied health professions. Construction and infrastructure jobs are also in high demand, because Australia is facing housing shortages and needs more workers for development projects. Technology occupations are also receiving strong attention. Cybersecurity specialists, software engineers, data analysts, AI-related professionals, and cloud computing experts are becoming increasingly valuable because Australia is investing heavily in digital transformation and technology growth. Teaching is another important sector in 2026. Some states are actively targeting teachers because schools are facing shortages, especially in regional areas. Skilled trades, such as electricians, plumbers, carpenters, mechanics, and welders, are also getting stronger opportunities because these industries are struggling to find enough workers locally. Now let's talk about one of the most important new requirements in 2026, which is stronger English language performance. Many applicants still think average IELTS or PTE scores are enough, but competition has changed dramatically. Higher English scores are now becoming one of the biggest advantages in the PR system because they increase points significantly and improve overall ranking in invitation rounds. Applicants with superior English scores are standing out more compared to people with average language results. This is why many successful candidates are spending extra time improving their IELTS or PTE scores before submitting their expression of interest. Another major requirement that is becoming more important is genuine and well-documented work experience. Immigration authorities are now paying closer attention to employment references, salary evidence, and job duties. Applicants can no longer rely on weak documentation because verification processes are becoming stricter. Some people make the mistake of exaggerating their work experience or submitting unclear documents, but this creates major risks because immigration officers carefully check whether your experience actually matches your nominated occupation. Accurate and professional documentation is becoming more important than ever. Another fresh update is the growing importance of state nomination and regional pathways. In 2026, many applicants are finding it difficult to receive invitations through independent PR pathways because competition is extremely high. As a result, state sponsorship and regional visas are becoming smarter and faster options for many people. Different Australian states are targeting different occupations depending on local labor shortages. Some states prioritize healthcare workers, others focus on construction, engineering, IT, or teaching. Applicants who understand state priorities correctly can significantly improve their chances of receiving invitations. Regional Australia is also becoming one of the most important parts of the immigration system. The Australian government wants more migrants to settle outside major cities like Sydney and Melbourne, so regional pathways now offer additional points, faster processing in some cases, and stronger PR opportunities. Many people wrongly assume regional Australia means isolated areas with no future opportunities, but this is completely false. Many regional cities have excellent lifestyles, good infrastructure, strong job markets, universities, hospitals, and lower living costs compared to major metropolitan cities. Another major change in the Australia PR system is that the government now values adaptability and long-term economic contribution more than before. Australia wants migrants who can successfully integrate into the workforce and contribute to sectors experiencing genuine shortages. This means applicants need to think strategically instead of simply focusing on minimum eligibility requirements. One of the biggest hidden realities of the PR system is that being eligible is not the same as being competitive. Thousands of applicants meet minimum requirements, but only stronger profiles receive invitations quickly. For example, many occupations officially require only 65 points to qualify, but actual invitation rounds are often selecting candidates with much higher scores, depending on occupation demand and competition levels. This is why improving your profile is extremely important in 2026. Now let's talk about international students, because this fresh update also affects study pathways. In previous years, many students believed any Australian qualification would automatically lead to PR. But now the system is becoming more targeted and occupation-focused. Students who choose courses linked to high-demand industries have much better opportunities compared to students studying fields with weak labor demand. Strategic course selection is becoming one of the most important decisions for future PR planning. Australian work experience is also becoming increasingly valuable because employers and immigration authorities prefer candidates who already understand Australian workplace culture and standards. Local work experience can strengthen both PR opportunities and employer sponsorship pathways. Another thing applicants must understand is that migration trends are changing rapidly. Invitation rounds, state priorities, and occupation demand can shift depending on labor shortages and economic conditions. People who stay updated with immigration news and policy changes have a much stronger advantage compared to those relying on outdated information. This is why following trusted and updated guidance is extremely important. Many applicants still depend on old YouTube videos, random social media advice, or unrealistic promises from fake agents. But immigration policies change frequently, and using outdated information can seriously damage your strategy. One of the biggest mistakes applicants make is thinking PR is guaranteed once they submit an expression of interest. But the reality is very different. Submitting an EOI simply places you into the invitation pool. From there, your profile competes against thousands of other candidates. This means your success depends on how competitive your profile is compared to others in your occupation category. Strong English, better experience, high-demand occupations, regional pathways, and state nominations can all improve your ranking significantly. Another important thing to understand is that patience is now a very important part of the immigration journey. Some applicants become frustrated when invitations take time, but many successful migrants improved their profile step by step until they became competitive enough. Some increased their English scores. Others gained more work experience. Some shifted toward regional pathways or state-sponsored options. The applicants who stay consistent and continue improving are usually the ones who succeed eventually. Now let's discuss what smart applicants are doing differently in 2026. First, they are focusing heavily on maximizing points instead of settling for minimum scores. Second, they are researching occupation demand carefully before applying. Third, they are seriously considering regional and state-sponsored pathways. Fourth, they are preparing strong and accurate documentation from the beginning. Fifth, they are staying informed about policy changes and invitation trends. And finally, they are keeping realistic expectations while continuously improving their profile. One positive thing about the current Australia PR system is that genuine skilled workers are still needed across many industries. Australia continues to depend on skilled migration to support economic growth, infrastructure projects, healthcare services, education systems, and technology expansion. So, despite bigger competition, opportunities still exist for applicants who prepare strategically and stay adaptable. The system is becoming harder for unprepared applicants, but stronger candidates still have very good opportunities. Another important thing is financial planning. Many applicants underestimate the cost of migration and preparation. English tests, skill assessments, visa fees, and document preparation all require proper budgeting. Good financial planning helps reduce stress during the immigration process. Mental preparation is equally important because immigration journeys can involve uncertainty and waiting periods. Applicants who remain patient, focused, and flexible usually handle the process much better than those expecting instant results. The Fresh Australia PR update for 2026 is sending a very clear message. Australia still welcomes skilled migrants, but the system now rewards people who prepare smarter, adapt faster, and understand the labor market properly. If you are serious about Australia PR, your goal should not only be meeting eligibility requirements. Your goal should be becoming one of the strongest and most competitive candidates in your occupation category. Before we end, let's quickly summarize the smartest approach for 2026. Improve your English score as much as possible. Focus on high-demand occupations. Explore state nomination and regional pathways seriously. Prepare genuine and professional documentation. Stay updated with immigration trends. And most importantly, keep improving your profile continuously instead of relying on outdated strategies. Remember, competition may be increasing, but opportunities are still available for people who plan carefully and follow the right strategy. Australia PR is still achievable in 2026 if you stay informed, stay patient, and continue improving yourself step by step. This was Australia PR Insider, and today we discussed the Fresh Australia PR update for 2026, the new requirements being revealed, and the important information every applicant should understand before applying. If you found this video helpful, stay connected with Australia PR Insider for more real, practical, and updated immigration guidance that helps you move toward your Australian dream, that holds you toward your Australian dream with confidence and clarity.